So my stories, I remember Holland Village. It was 1977 and I had just arrived in Singapore from Malaysia. Did nothing but a small bag and a big box of books. That's all I had. I was a student at the Old Institute of Education, and there I saw a notice on the board, someone looking for a flatmate, rather a roommate. And just like that, I landed in Holland Village. Back then, we didn't call it Holland V. It wasn't trendy. It was just a place where we lived. I moved to Holland Village, and from the walk-up apartments, I moved 2 or 3 times within Cheah Gardens itself. Cheah Gardens, as you might remember or know, was made up of walk-up apartments, terrace houses, and these tall blocks which had British names like Fife and Essex, because they were built for the British Army people in the old days. These flats were big and airy and very, very comfortable. So Cheah Gardens was on one side of Holland Village, and in the middle is Holland Avenue, and on the other side is the heart of Holland Village, which is Lorong Mambong and Lorong Liput itself. Actually, I didn't know much about the place then. I was too busy missing home and figuring out what to do with my life. But I do remember the feeling. It was a nice kind of slow, gentle pulse, and it was laid back, quite comforting. And funny enough, although I left Malaysia, I landed right back in a mini Malaysian village, because Cheah Gardens was where the MOE housed all the Malaysian teachers. On weekends, we'd eat supper together in the coffee shops, cook budget meals, plan parties, and then we'd pick up stray plants along the road and take them home to plant in our apartments. There was this big open-air cinema in the middle of Holland Village where the Holland Piazza is now. I think it was at Eng Hwa Theatre. You know, I never went inside, and I regret that now. But then at that point, I thought, who would want to go and visit a relic from small Malaysian towns, open-air theatre, right? Been there, done that. What I didn't realize, of course, was that I'd never be able to go back and watch a movie in an open-air theatre. And there's one moment that I would always laugh about. At that point in the Holland shopping centre, there was Fitzpatrick's supermarket here. So on evenings, you know, we would hang out there. And one evening I was there dressed in a short pair of shorts and a skimpy tank top. Don't ask, I was young then. So there I was looking there, waiting for my friends who were shopping, and this young man sidled up to me and said to me, "Yao zuo pengyou ma?" Shocked, I turned around and quickly ran away. I looking for my friend, what is this guy? Of course, in retrospect, when I look back, he was just another lonely young man looking for a friend then. Poor guy was just lonely. But the one memory that my family remembers and always make them laugh was of my little brother Long. My little brother was then about 13, 14, and he made his first visit to Singapore when I was living there. And you know, along the Holland Village, just outside Holland Avenue, the shops there was a new buffet restaurant that was opened. So I took my little brother there and said, "Oh, let's have a buffet meal," right? My brother then was skinny, hungry, right? And he sat there and ate that restaurant out of house and home. He went there course after course after course while I stood there embarrassed and amused, right? Until today, we always talk about that story of how my brother just sat there for hours and ate up almost everything in that restaurant. And then there was this other restaurant that we go to. It was a pancake house called Better Batters. My friend Ginny and I, we used to go there whenever we felt down and missing home. And our tagline was, "When times are bad, we go to Better Batters." Well, sometimes, of course, in those days when we felt like, especially after payday, when we felt rich, we would drive down to the Marco Polo then and have pancakes and ice cream in the middle of the night. Marco Polo, of course, is long gone now. You know, looking back, those years were kind of in between. We were in our 20s and still not quite adults because we were still students, but we weren't young anymore. and we're all trying to find our place in life. Then in 1980, everything came to a halt. The MOE told us to please get out because we have the prom shaw teachers coming from the UK and they need your apartments. And you Malaysians, could you please move to Ang Mo Kio or Jurong West? So to add insult to injury, we later discovered that the Ang Mohs who moved there told everybody that those places, those apartments looked like garages. Garages? But I remember Holland Village. And more than that, I remember the life we had there. The quiet evenings, the way we wandered around looking for food, for fellowship, and for some feeling of home. We were all in between people, between countries, between identities, between youth and whatever came next. But just like the village, we've all changed. We've moved up in the world, got polished, successful. But underneath it all, if you dig deep, you'll still find the old textures, the simpler beginnings. And sometimes when I pass by Holland V, I wonder, does anybody remember what was there before all this shine? Thank you.